What's up, Paragon community? I am joined by Colin Fogle and Edgar Diaz today. You might have noticed Kale and Cam are not here. Unfortunately, Kale is well, not unfortunately, he's having a great time at VidCon, but if you are there, go say hi. And Cam is not here with us, so we are going to be talking through a couple things today. Initially, I wanted to talk about Wraith. Our boy is coming out Tuesday.
He is.
Very excited. He is looking slick. I don't know if you guys caught that announced trailer we posted on Thursday, but it was pretty cool. I'm a big fan.
Digging that VO. The VO was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's very animated. I will say that in his personality for sure. He's pretty awesome.
A sassy dude. Sassy dude for sure.
I was actually, without giving too many details or anything, obviously we want to save that for dev stream next week.
Oh.
Don't give me that face.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to drop anything super spicy, but I will say that we have company playtests and stuff that everybody participates in here.
Yep.
And we try out the new heroes and stuff like that. And our very own Mr. SLG, Mr. Hype Man himself, was playing Ghost in a playtest earlier, and I saw him do some pretty crazy stuff, man. This guy, he's got some potential to do some really unique stuff. We shared his abilities with the community, so you guys have checked those out. I know his back it up ability, that's something totally new. Something that's absolutely, absolutely. He's got surprise with the area of effect stealth ability. There's just
I'm gonna want to see, like, that's gonna be Paragon plays. Like, get on that for next week. Like, prep yourself, because I'm gonna want to see some sick back it ups. Like, I'm only sending people back to I don't know, back to a birth. I don't know, man. Like, send them back to birth.
Just
send them, moving on.
Moving on from that. Speaking of new mechanics and things changing up and things like that, in the Age of Intellect update, we added, I'm kind of shifting gears here away from Ghost.
The hard swap.
Hard swap. I want to talk about, since we were talking about game-changing abilities that Ghost brings to the game. In the Age of Intellect, we actually introduced some cards.
Yeah.
If you guys are not aware, Colin, if you want to talk to them a bit about what it is you do, number one, so you can kind of give, if they're not familiar with you already, what is it you do on the Paragon team?
So I'm part of the systems design team. Specifically, I've been working on cards for the past 5 or 6 months. Then before that was working with our competitive team. So I actually hired these two guys ages ago.
Be blessed. Thanks.
So we've been working on the card system changes. So 38.3 was kind of like our first big update with lots of card stuff, and then 40 was round 2, and then we've been working on the new card system.
Yep. So the reason why I wanted to segue into that, number one, was we actually introduced some cards in the Age of Intellect update that had some really cool effects that kind of changed up gameplay for a lot of our current hero roster, and kind of just mixed things up a bit.
And we talked about in the update about how this is kind of more in line with how we saw our current card system did not accomplish the areas it didn't accomplish, and trying to reinforce those areas as we work towards this new system.
Right. So is that something that we should just have the community come to expect at this point, Colin, or what is the new system going to accomplish in that realm? I wanted you to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we have kind of identified with the current system is that it's very spreadsheetable, and like you can kind of build out your build to hit the exact amount of power that you want, the exact amount of attack speed, the exact amount of crit, and as a result, the builds get kind of stale a lot of times.
Right.
So with 38.3 and with V40, we were kind of adding more and more things that are hard to quantify, and that just kind of change the gameplay up to a point where, okay, now I don't really know if it's better for me to get another 6 more points of cast or strike, or if I would prefer to have Stasis Gem instead, or Ash of the Witch.
Kind of going towards more of those interesting options that add to gameplay.
Yeah, and like it's a lot more interesting when that guy hits you with something and it's like, oh, that wasn't part of his kit, that was a card doing something.
And you're making kind of a meaningful decision when you make these choices, rather than feeling like I'm just trying to min-max like constantly.
Yeah, and you're more likely to take your hero into consideration as far as like, this hero does well with this one doesn't. So 38.3 and 40 were kind of us dipping our toes in the water as like, okay, this is the direction we would like to move. How does the community respond to it? What works, what doesn't work? Which things do people find appealing? Like Ash of the Witch update, when we added the ability slow. That was actually one of a last-minute thing where we're just like, oh, let's just do this. Sure. And it ended up being the one that everyone was talking about, partially because it had a bunch of broken interactions. And like that's the advantage of us being able to release this stuff early and get it out in front of everyone before we do the new card system, because now it's like, oh, yeah, these types of things tend to break, so we need to treat them a bit differently. And also, people really value this type of thing where they use their abilities, but they feel like they have this extra effect or empowerment that's coming from them.
Absolutely,
Right.
definitely. So would you say that people should kind of expect that this is the general direction that we're going to move away? I'm looking at, so for me personally, for example, I primarily play carry.
No.
As you said.
No.
Nobody knows that. I'm looking at you, Twin Blast, who, with all the Madstone gems, starting their build with 4 Madstone gems and all 1-point upgrades, is that something that we can kind of expect is going to go away going into the new system or heading into the new system?
Yeah, I can say it's a major goal of the new system is that there's more just like cool things that cards do and less pulling out calculators and kind of working out what the optimal build path is.
Right.
Instead, it'll be, I'm this hero, which things can I utilize the most, or what is the enemy team comp,
Right.
or specifically, like, what is my playstyle? Like, do I just enjoy being highly mobile instead?
Nice.
So instead, you'll be able to buy those items and not feel like you're sacrificing like this giant stat bucket that is making that decision. So instead, it's I want to do cool things. Which cool things do I want to do?
Right. Instead of like you're adding an extra layer instead of just being like I'm this hero in this lane, so I do this. It's like I'm this hero in this lane, but I'm playing this way.
Yeah.
And maybe during the match this happens, and I want to have like contingencies and stuff in for that. Yeah.
Yep.
And with that being said, I know we've been kind of lighter on the details revolving around the itemization system that's going to be coming and whatnot. But is deck building in general one of the things that I've come to really love about Paragon in general is having the ability to throw different cards into my deck. Is that something that's still going to exist in the system? Is deck building still going to be a thing?
We're still embracing deck building.
Okay.
So, and there's still also affinities. I've seen people kind of worried about both those. Neither of them are going anywhere.
Awesome.
And in general, it's just going to be a lot more content. I think we have well over 100 new like effects on our items. So like expect, again, it's a ton of work and we have a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
We're building out a ridiculous amount of content and balancing it all. So like that's what we're working on right now.
Definitely. August is going to be a big month. Very big month.
Very big month. I'm on and honestly I think that some of the like as we're coming up on that update, it's going to be very important I think to take a look at some of the ways people are playing with the other changes we have been making and like understanding like like we're playing with it this way, we're experiencing this way, and like you said, like until you put out Ash of Witch in the Wild, we didn't know that might have been the standout card. So like seeing how these changes as they roll in, will it be something where we expect to see a lot of diversity off the bat, or something where people maybe fall into like maybe some old habits but then like explore the new system?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see that progression, but also like we have all these combinations we're starting to see, like, oh yeah, this actually works really well with this, and this works well with this, and it's going to be interesting once it gets in the community's hands to see, oh yeah, also this thing and this thing are actually just broken entirely, and it's like, oh yeah, I get to go fix it.
Right.
But also just cool interactions we didn't expect, or this hero specifically with this card does this thing. We're adding so much stuff at once that I'm fully expecting some of that stuff to slip through the cracks, which is fun. Like I actually, when there's that short window where that's happening, it's fun. And
and I think it's important. I think that kind
create
of
some of those happy accidents.
Yeah, happy accidents, which was Ash of the Witch.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect it to have as much of an impact as it did.
Right. I think one of the really big things to hit on there with something that you said that really connected, and I think people should really kind of just start ingraining in their minds is that when we moved over to Monolith. It's a new system entirely. Bunch of things changed up.
Yep.
People were not accustomed to things. They had to give it some time to kind of, get comfortable with it. The new system will not be, of course, we are going to do our part by trying to flesh it out as much as possible. That's why it's taken so much time up to this point where we are working our butts off.
If you see someone with an epic tag, just know that like they're cranking it right now to make this stuff work.
Yeah. I mean, it's guys, we are full force towards this. But the point that I'm kind of getting at is that while we are going to do our due diligence and make sure that this stuff is flushed out and as polished as possible for you guys, there's still going to be there's going to be a bunch of crazy stuff. This is a couple of 100 people internally testing something, and the moment that it goes out, as soon as you guys get that, it's up to you guys to start helping us out, giving us that feedback. Like things are going to be crazy. Things are going to just try to hold off, grind through those matches, play with the new system. Things are going to be crazy.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit of a shock at first as far as, like, this is actually comprehensively, I believe it's just a bigger update.
No, again, it's bigger than the Monolith update,
like,
and I think that was
especially to the gameplay side. Like,
it's true, and we still have like a lot of like people wanting to discuss like, hey, so coming from Legacy, there's a lot of stuff I liked on there, and people we have people constantly even asking to this day about Legacy, but understanding that transition happened and people went into Monolith, trying to be open mind. I'm going to play through these games and trying to understand the system. Like, coming into this, understanding that this is a magnitude a little bit larger than that update, and coming in with that mindset, I think will be important to really accept a lot of what it has to offer.
Right.
Yep.
So I think we actually have our competitive stuff is actually now in full swing. We want to switch gears a little bit, and I know that we have some qualifier finals coming up, and we got a lot of exciting matches.
Right.
If you want to run through that, Ed?
Yeah. So definitely, if you guys, I hope everyone went ahead and tuned into the qualifiers that were just this past weekend. Actually, that was for the North American qualifiers. We are now down to 8 teams.
8 teams.
8 teams.
In NA.
Guys, this is in North America, and we are going to be doing our European qualifiers. That also is boiled down to 8 teams, and that is going to be on June 24th and the 25th. So not this coming weekend. So just tomorrow. Make sure everybody tunes into that. We have some awesome teams. EU side is looking strong. North America is looking strong. There's been a couple standout teams, some surprising teams. I know Bronze Army was one of the ones that comes to my mind that was kind of an underdog coming up. Like it was a bunch of really talented players who kind of formulated a team very last minute, and then just they were working their way through those brackets.
And those pieces
man.
fit in, you never know, right?
And then of course we still have the North American powerhouses of Reborn. Reborn's been a top team for quite a while. Finesse has really showed us that. I mean, those guys have all been in the scene for a while, but they're relatively.
Well, and
new.
I think the coolest thing has been seeing all of those like various teams and like the various teams people have been putting together, and like just the different things they've been trying, because obviously like it's a little bit more, you're trying to, there's a little more online for you. You want to try and make that effort to really push your team the extra mile.
Right.
So it's been really cool seeing a lot of that.
Right. So we are full steam ahead, guys. We strongly believe we are setting the game up to be an esport. We believe that we fundamentally have the tools to be there. We're working towards that. The itemization system, the changes that are going to be coming, the visual updates, system changes, all of that stuff is pushing us towards a direction that we want to get to that is ultimately going to lead to what we hope to be a thriving esports scene. And we're already seeing a ton of dedication on the community side, at least, in these community-ran tournaments. The exhibition is our first step to that. So I hope you guys are out there supporting these guys. They're putting a lot of hard work. Shout out to Paragon Competitive League. They've been doing some awesome stuff as far as running the broadcast, brackets, stuff like that.
The European guys, Gameaholics dudes, have been killing it as well.
I was going to call them out next. They've been doing some awesome. Their production value. I was tuned into their last stream.
Great job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're doing some really cool stuff over there on that side. So with that being said, I wanted to shout those out. We have to sum it up, we have the EU qualifiers that are going to be taking place tomorrow.
This weekend, yeah.
And so that we will have our finalists from there. Keep in mind, guys, for the exhibition tournament, we are having 2 teams from the European side come out, 2 teams from the North American side come out. That is 4. You can see Mooney's fingers up in the air there.
That's 4.
We have 4 teams coming out. It's going to be awesome. It's going to lead up to our final exhibition event that is going to be held here in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's going to take place on August the 4th through the 6th. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be getting those guys out here. So please, guys, I cannot stress enough, support these guys. They're putting in a ton of work, a ton of time. So I hope you guys are all checking them out.
And I mean, check out the matches too. You might pick up a thing or two. Like, I know we talked about like last week. I mean, the last community corner was either during or the week before a new player narrative, and like that during that week, we talked about a lot of ways people can learn stuff. But some of these tournaments, like seeing what some of these players do, like even like because you guys, I'm a pretty frequent Paragon player. I play a lot of Paragon. I got a lot of master skins. Got a lot of master skins. Let's talk about any specific numbers, but when you're playing through a lot of Paragon, you see a lot of these competitive guys putting the work in and the hustle and the hours. You see the kind of like strategies and like the tactics and like some of the mechanical skill that comes out.
There's a lot to learn.
And just picking that up and just trying it and trying to implement that into your gameplay and some of those those are the starting steps in getting better and leveling up. So definitely check that out if you are maybe a new player trying to kind of struggling with your understanding of MOBAs or just Paragon in general. Definitely a good thing to check out.
Right, definitely. So we will have something that's kind of important to note. We will have as I said, the European finals are going to be ran on this patch, this current patch, which is 40.5, I believe is what we are currently sitting on. Important thing to note, the North American qualifiers, which will be held the following weekend, is going to be held on V41.
Yes.
That will be on a different patch. There will be some balance changes on that patch, so it should be pretty interesting. Yeah. I know some folks on the community side have been, hey, you guys have been kind of light in the realm of balance and things like that. Some of the bigger heroes, guys, we've been collecting data. We're really we really need to make sure that we're tight as far as balance goes, especially leading into what is our first official Epic sanctioned tournament going into the exhibition. With that being said, we definitely want to tune some things up. 41's going to change some things up a little bit. Yeah. We've been keeping a close eye on a couple heroes that people have been monitoring, giving us feedback on. Amongst them, Morgesh, Revenant, FaZe, FaZe as well. We've been looking at, and it doesn't end with just them. There's some stuff coming, guys.
Some quality of life changes to some other heroes. So like definitely looking at those. Yep. And I think
we had Stasis Gem change too.
Yeah, we're looking at Stasis Gem as well.
Yep, absolutely.
So definitely be on the lookout for those patch notes when they drop on Monday. But I think it's going to be really important, really interesting and important, obviously, to see how these teams kind of like looking from the finals like this weekend and looking at the ones next weekend, seeing how maybe these teams play a little bit differently from like build to build and like read towards looking in the future.
Yep.
And like obviously like we have the huge big update coming like in August, and I think that. This next update coming does have those balance changes a little bit like earlier than a normal cadence, but we wanted to get these out to everybody, make sure that we get enough playtime on it, and really understand like where we're at going into the future.
Right.
So definitely get out there, play some games, watch some Paragon. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good couple of weeks.
There's a ton of stuff to play with, especially in this upcoming week. We have Wraith coming out. We have the V41 balance changes. We already kind of teased some of the stuff that you guys can expect to see there. We have qualifiers going on. We have the exhibition tournament just right around the corner. We're going to be continuously sharing details, especially starting about now, actually. You guys should be monitoring our social outlets, because we're going to start talking about some of these things that we've been talking about for months and hinting at, and talking about these big system changes and itemization changes.
It's so much.
There is so much, guys, and at this point, we expect to start seeing some stuff roll out.
Confirmed. Ed is going to be leaking secrets on social media. That's what I just heard. Twitch chat. I heard it confirmed. But yeah, no, it's going to be definitely a spicy couple of months here coming up.
Yeah. It's an exciting time to be a Paragon player, that's for sure.
Yeah. Excited him to be alive, honestly, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. It is an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's just appreciate.
On that note.
It's always great talking to you guys. Colin and Ed, thanks for coming on Community Corner this week.
Thank you for having us. KL has some big shoes to fill, so I hope I did him some sort of justice, and it was awesome.
I got the B team representing.
Backups.
Backups.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I mean, hey, this went great. I don't. Anyways, this is a great Community Corner, and we'll see you guys next time.